Okay. So good evening everyone and thank you all for joining. Welcome to the AI Advantage seminar organized by Leke Tech. I am Bryce Aliabila Leke. I am the founder CEO of Leke Tech and I will be your host throughout this webinar. It's a 2-day webinar and the goal here is to show you all the basics which you have to know concerning AI, how to use AI in your business, how to use AI in your workplace, how to use AI as a student, as a professional, as a content creator, in order to speed up your workflow, in order to be organized, to plan better, to organize better, and to be more productive, to earn more. So there are tons of different AIs, and I'm sure you've heard different news about AI, how AI is good or how AI is bad. So the aim here is to clear all the doubts about AI, to show you how you can effectively use AI and the different tools which you can use in order to effectively use AI. So this webinar is for all skill level, whether you are a beginner, whether you are a tech person, whether you are not a tech person, it's for all skill level. So as we said, it's in 2 days. The first day here on day one, we'll learn how to work faster, smarter, and stay relevant with AI. So, and our quote here is AI won't replace you, but rather someone using AI will. The job market has grown so much that now employers are looking specifically for people who can apply AI into their different domains, whether being it teaching or being an engineer in different fields, engineer in petrochemical, a director, even in agricultural sector. So employers now are looking for people who can leverage AI into their workflows. So this is one of the most valuable skills which you can gain now in 2025 heading to 2026. If you are a professional or if you are aspiring professional, that means you're still a student going into the professional domain. So I'll start by welcoming you all. So today is about practical AI. It is not a technical, no technical background is required. And the goal here is simple, is to help you understand AI clearly and use it immediately in all your daily workflows. So thank you all once again for joining. And we can kickstart. But before we kickstart, let me tell you a little bit about Leke Tech. Leke Tech is a company which was founded in order to provide, to help businesses stand out in the online space, to by providing expert services in graphic designing, digital marketing, web development, video editing. So we help businesses to stand out from the competition online, to be more relevant in the online space, hereby increasing their 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 brand value and their sales. So who is this session for exactly? This session is for employees and professionals, for business owners and entrepreneurs, for freelancers and creatives, for job seekers, anyone who works with a computer or a phone. So if you write, plan, research, study, or communicate, this is exactly meant for you. So what you'll be able to do after today, you'll be able to write proposals, report documents, and etc. faster using AI. Use AI to perform a variety of tasks, which include like writing proposals, reports, documents, generating videos, generating code, images, audios, and etc. Reduce repetitive tasks. So that is one of the advantages of AI. So if you can increase your workflow, means you can reduce repetitive tasks. So things that you would have normally done manually by yourselves using AI, you can do it 2 times, 10 times faster. You can, for example, if you're a student, maybe you have to write maybe a defense report. which normally, let's say for the degree level, should take you months to complete. But using AI, you can complete an entire defense report in a week. That's how fast it can speed up your workflow. AI can also help you to think more clearly, plan, and organize your ideas. So, if there are business owners here, and I'm sure you know how stressful it is to actually start a business, a lot of things you should have to take into consideration: how you're going to position your business, how you're going to plan activities, who it is you must recruit at the start, how you're going to organize everything. So AI can help you do all that in a matter of seconds, but you have to know how to actually go about it. So we also go through how to use AI responsibly and effectively. This is about working smarter, not harder. Sam Altman, the CEO of Chat OpenAI, said, "We live in an era in which we have been given so much compared to those who lived like 10 years or 20 years before us. Those are to start businesses. So imagine how hard it is, for example, to start a business now with AI, which is there. So imagine how hard it was 10 years ago without AI, without the internet, without social media. So we live in an era where things have been made way easier than it used to be. So it would really not be smart of you to not know how to make use or advantage of those things in your daily workflows, be it as a professional or as a student. So, what is AI actually? So, first, AI stands for artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence (AI) is a software trained on large amounts of data to understand text, generate responses, summarize information, assist with thinking and tasks. So AI does not think like humans. AI works in a way that it predicts the most useful response based on pattern. So AI engineers AI engineers collect massive amounts of data on different topics. So these AI engineers train these AI models based on this data. The AI is now trained to give you a response based on the information data which has been collected and trained upon. So AI does not collect information from space or create information out of thin air. So the information which the AI provides to you is based on data which has been collected, cleaned, and processed through different levels. If you know of data science, you know of machine learning, deep learning, and before it comes to generative AI. But we're not about data science here. We're going to only speak the practical usage of AI, of the finished model. So it is not a technical cause. So AI does not think like human. AI predicts the most useful response based on patterns. So when you input, for example, a prompt into an AI model, AI tries to predict what is the most useful response based on that prompt which you provided. So what AI is not, AI is not a human being. AI is a computer software. AI is not conscious. AI is simply built on data which it has been given. So if you build an AI telling you that a table is called a chair, then as far as the AI is concerned, a table is called a chair. So the reason why AI knows everything it knows is because he has been trained to think or to answer like that. So AI is not always correct. If you go even on ChatGPT, if you're familiar with ChatGPT, you always see the notice written down there. AI can make mistakes. So it's always important to verify or to check, edit all responses given to you by an AI. AI is not a decision maker. At the end of the day, you are the one to make decision. AI suggest for you. So AI can make mistakes. That is why human supervision is essential whenever you're making use of AI. So what's the human input in the loop. So combining the use of AI plus your own human knowledge, that is what gives the best result. That's how you can bring out the best results of your AI. So AI does about 80% of the work for you, and the final 20% is on you. That the final 20% is the final touches, the final editing, the human input. So AI can come up with the strategy for you. For example, AI can build a business plan for you in less than a minute. However, it is up to you to execute that business plan. AI can come up with a content strategy for you. However, it's up to you to execute it. AI can come up with a video for you, but it's still up to you to post it and promote it. So there's always that human input that comes into play. So humans review, correct, and add judgment, take responsibility, and take action. You are the director, and AI is merely assistant. So with the use of AI, for example, you can basically start a business by yourself. AI will be your customer support assistant. AI will be your designer, your video editor, and so on. So why AI is an advantage? Why is AI an advantage? So using AI, you can speed up your workflow. It, it is cost saving. So imagine you generating a business plan with an AI. Normally, you'd have to meet a professional for that who will charge you usually a certain percentage, a total amount. Let's say the business uh, maybe he values the business maybe at 500,000. He starts charging you maybe 10% of the amount for you to pay him to produce that business plan for you. Whereas now, in a matter of seconds, you can generate it by yourself. So, for example, generating videos. Normally, you have to hire a video editor to do that for you, but with the use of AI, you can do that by yourself. That's why it is cost saving and time saving. So, since AI can execute certain tasks for you, you can shift your attention to something else. So rather than focusing on strategy, you would focus more on execution. So AI gives you that competitive edge even with limited resources. So AI doesn't replace jobs, it replaces workflows. So what normally should have taken you hours and hours and a lot of time to do, you do it a lot faster using an AI. So why do most people fail using AI? The first problem is they ask vague questions or use vague prompts. The more specific your question is and the more detailed, the better the response which you get. They expect magic. AI does not work like magic. At the end of the day, AI is a software. So it works on input. The better your input, the better the output is going to give to you. It's not a magical thing which it's not going to read your mind to know exactly what you want. You have to tell it what you want for it to give it to you. So they don't guide the AI. So when you don't guide the AI, it means you don't give it enough details for it to work on. You don't um edit the result when it comes out. You just take it as it goes. So for example, you want a business plan, you just come in and say, okay, change me a business plan. It's going to give you a very generic template of a business plan. However, if you come in and give in specific details about your business, about your market, about your goals, the result is going to be much different, going to be much more refined. So that goes for literally every aspect. Whether you're using AI to generate images, to come up with strategies for your business, strategies to promote your business, to come up with captions or content for your social pages, or even business ideas. the more details you give it, the more details which you give to the AI, the better the result. AI works well. AI works best when you tell it exactly what to do. So the secret to AI success, that is prompt engineering. So what do I understand by prompt engineering? What is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is the art of giving AI clear, structured instructions to get professional results instead of generic robotic answers. So how do we go about giving these clear, structured instructions? So how do you actually structure that prompt in order to get the best result out of the AI? So we developed a framework which we call the Leke framework for prompting AI systems. And this framework is going to work for whatever task you're trying to accomplish. Whether you're trying to draft an email, whether you're trying to write a CV or apply for a job or write a business plan, generate a video and image, this system is going to work for all that. So the framework helps you to get clear, accurate, usable results from AI every single time. So the LES stands for limit. You have to tell AI who it should act as. So for example, act as a professional marketing manager. So the reason for this is AI you have to put is to the reason for this is to put some context into it. So AI has the data, it has the data, it has all the information about who a digital marketing manager is, or who a student is, or who a lecturer is, a biology lecturer. However, if you don't tell it that it has to base its result from that piece of data which it already has, from that information that it already has, it's not going to know that. It's going to give you just a box standard response or a generic response. So you have to be specific. So giving limit is all about giving AI a role depending on what you want to accomplish with your result. So you're going to give it the first step is to give it a role. So for example, you're a professional marketing manager, or you're a biology lecturer at the university, or a secondary school physics teacher, or for example, you are a professional professional copywriter, or a professional business manager with a lot of experience on the African market. So you have to give it a specific role so you should understand the context of what the discussion is all about. So this sets the thinking style of the AI. That's why it's important. It sets the thinking style of the AI. So the next step is E stands for explain. So you have to clearly explain the task which you want AI to complete. So for example, create a content plan for Instagram or for TikTok. Or for example, write a business plan for so and so for for a poultry farm. So now after giving it the role which it has to act as, you have to now give it the task, what it has to do. That's the next step. The more clearer it is, the better the output. So and after that, the next step is knowledge. Knowledge simply involves putting more details. You have to give AI context and information. And you have to give it as much information as you possibly can regarding what is it you want to do, what is it you want to accomplish. So the more the information which you give, the better the response. So for example, if you're drafting, for example, a proposal for a client, if you're a business person, you have to send a proposal to one of your clients who is in need of your services. It could be your design services, it could be to partner with your poultry farm. So you have to send in a proposal. So giving in context would be telling the AI who the client is, or the problem you're trying to solve, the goal you're trying to achieve. So you have to give it some background details. So AI performs best when it understands the complete situation. So it's not enough to say, write me a proposal for a business who wants to partner with me to supply them, for example, X at the end of each month. That is not enough. You have to break it down as much as you can. in order to get the best possible result. So, on the last step is execution. Tell AI how the output should look like. So, for example, for example, tell AI that you want a short and professional response in a simple language, in a conversational tone, maybe in bullet points, step by step format. Break it down. So you have to give it all these examples in order to better explain to the AI how you want the result to be like. So, for example, if you were trying to generate a content plan, so you might ask AI to put the output as in a tabular form containing maybe four rows. The first four columns, the first column states the day of the week. The next column can state the caption. The next column, next column, no, the second column states the type of content. Is it a video, carousel post? The next column can state the caption. So when you structure your output in your prompt, the result is also better and clearer, more organized. So, for example, writing, if you were writing an email, for example, in order to apply for a job, you could ask it to set the tone to a professional tone. Use a professional tone. Or if you're maybe writing a short story, you can use AI to write a short story. You could tell it to write in using Shakespearean way of writing, or using a specific type writer, or using Charles Dickens style of writing. So when you do that, the result will be more refined. So this controls the quality and the usefulness of your result. And the last step, after you've arranged your prompt and you've sent it to the AI, now it has given you back a response. And you look at it, the response is not exactly what you had planned or what you had in mind. There are still errors. Now this is where you go now into the refining process. The refining process, where you say, okay, this column, let's add another column to this. Let's change the style. This style is too professional. Let's change the style to a more conversational tone, style of writing. Or maybe the information given was not detailed enough. Let's add more details. So that's the refining process. So when the AI gives you the first output is not always the best output. So sometimes you have to go through a process of refining the output over and over again until you get the final output. So let's show some practical demos. So now let's look at some practical demos or frameworks to that you can use AI prompts to solve. So, for example, emails, reports and documents, research, planning, content creation. So let's look at an example prompt. So for a professional email, so it goes like this. Act as a senior career coach and expert copywriter. Your task is to write a highly persuasive letter of motivation email for job application. So the first sentence here was giving it what? Was giving it the role. Act as a senior career coach. So it understands that okay, I am a career coach, I'm a career expert, and I'm an expert copywriter. Your task is to write a highly persuasive letter of motivation email for a job application. I want this email to stand out by focusing on how my specific skills solve the company's current problems. This here is giving it the task, what it has to do. Now the next step is giving it more context. So here is the context for the application. Attached is my CV or profile details. So on most AIs, you can attach files such as images or documents. So you can attach your CV to to your prompt, and AI is going to go through your CV and get information about your experience, information about your skill. So you don't necessarily have to type it down. So if you have maybe your information in a CV, you can just supply it. Attach to my CV or profile details. The job I'm applying for is you give details about the job. Are you applying, for example, for a chef position in a restaurant, for a senior executive position, for a managerial position in a bank, for example? So you give it the job title and descriptions. Usually, you can get this from if you from the job board where you got this job from. Usually, when they post jobs, they give information about the company, the job title, and the description. So you can get that information, simply come and paste it in the AI. So this here will be giving the AI context. So okay, this person is applying for a position as a digital marketing manager at Leke Tech. So what are they looking for? They are looking for somebody who has at least 2 years of experience. They're looking for somebody who has knowledge of design, knowledge of video editing, knowledge of of content marketing. So the AI is going to get all this information from from that. It already has what you want it to do. You want it to write the email. It has the context. So now in the last step, please follow these constraints for the execution. So this now is where you're trying to refine the output. Use a confident but humble tone. Avoid sounding like a robot or using cliches like "I am a hardworking individual." Highlight one specific achievement from my CV that proves I can handle the main requirements of this new role. Keep the email under 200 words and include a clear professional subject line. Ensure the output is formatted as a ready to send email. So when you put this output like this prompt into your AI such as ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, whatever AI you're using, your your result is going to be 1,000 times better and more refined than just putting a simple prompt as, okay, I want you to write an email to apply for a job as digital marketing manager. The result is going to be 10 times different. So another example is to generate a business plan. Okay, the prompt goes like this: act as a senior agribusiness consultant with 20 years of experience in the Cameroonian market. Your task is to draft a professional business plan for a new agricultural project. So we're giving you here the role and the task. Now we're going to add more context. Here's the project data, the project name, give it a project name, the location where it's found, the core products we do. Okay, business is green gold poultry. Is located in Yaoundé or in the west region, specifically in Buda. So we deal in chicken production or maize farming. These are just examples. Our target audience are local markets in Douala, Yaoundé, or export to Gabon. Available resources, we have 5 hectares of land and so on. So you give it this context, these details about your business for you to better understand the situation. So now you go into now the last phase, which is the refining, the constraint. Please structure the results. Please structure the execution as follows: one, the executive summary, a compelling one-page overview for potential investors. Two, the market analysis specific to Cameroon. Mention local demand, competitors, and seasonal price fluctuations. Three, operations plan. Detail the production cycle, required labor and supply chain for SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities. Five, financial outlook, estimated up cost and projected time to profit in France CFA. So a prompt is never too long. The longer it is means the more detailed it is. So a longer prompt is actually better than a shorter prompt because it provides more context. Okay. Are there any questions so far? Any questions so far? If everything is going on smoothly, you can reply with send a reaction. Okay. So our next demo, okay, the last step, use professional formal language. This is to refining the output as well for an investor pitch, avoid generic advice relevant to communicational sector. So this also just about giving it more context for the output. So if you're into content production, this is another one for content production. Act as a viral content strategist who specializes in high demand, high engaging growth on TikTok, growth, high engaging growth on TikTok, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Your task to create a 30-day content calendar for my brand. So you're giving it the role and the task. Next step, you go into the context. Here, you give it your niche, your location, your target audiences, your primary goal. It's a primary goal to get people to sign up, maybe sign up to if you're doing courses, for example, sign up to your courses. If your primary goal is for people to message you and buy your products, or maybe go to your website to buy your project products, so you can input that into your prompts. And the tone of voice, bold, energetic, professional, slightly provocative, the kind of tone you're going to use in producing that content. And then lastly, about controlling the output, please follow the instructions for the execution. 720 rule: 70% post must provide pure value, 20% authority, 10% direct sales page. So these are just example prompts which you can copy paste for different scenarios. Another idea as well is for CV or resume writing. I think everyone at a certain point must have done or will do a resume or a CV. So this is another example of a prompt which you can use in order to generate your CV in 5 seconds. So act as a senior HR manager and professional resume writer. Your task is to transform my raw experience into modern high impact CV that optimized for application tracking systems. So if you're applying, for example, for roles internationally, they usually have an application tracking system which filters out CVs even before it gets to the hiring manager. So you can use AI in order to tailor your CV to follow those systems without having to meet a professional and paying them to write your CV for you. So now we have to
Yo,
control the output.
Bryce, Bryce. I just wanted to add something to what you're saying.
Okay.
Basically, when using AI, it's not like a copy and paste of, especially when we deal with CVs and everything that has to do with documentation. Mostly those CV stuff, because here in India, most of the documents that you do with using AI, if you don't like take time to modify it yourself, like add some little stuff or remove some little stuff, you're going to get caught because majority of the CVs too, those CVs are partial and AI test stuff. So if you just do the CV, you copy and paste, no matter how you do it, you're going to get caught and then that CV is going to be rejected most of the time. So if you're somebody that is using AI too, if you use AI and AI gives you the answer to your problem, you have to know how to modify because it's not everything that AI gives that is relevant. So you have to sit down, read through the stuff because most people when they use AI, even when they do projects, their projects or stuff, They don't take time to read through the project or maybe through their CV. You just say, okay, AI does this image that it is perfect. At certain point, AI is not that perfect. There's certain stuff that you have to adjust yourself. Especially when it comes to documentary, there's certain stuff that you have to sit down, modify yourself, or make it more human than AI stuff. So that is what I wanted to add. Even here, a lot of us are getting caught because you do your assignment, you submit, or you do something, you submit after. There's a machine for that too.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to pass it through the machine and then they're going to notice that, okay, this guy did this assignment, or maybe this guy did this resume using AI, stuff like that. So you usually get caught, especially when you get encounters like this.
Yes. Now, as a student, right? Schools usually would not advise you to use to focus so much on AI. They want you to do things yourself, student, which is actually different from the professional milieu, right? Your client with whom you're working for, right? Doesn't care if your CV was generated with an AI or whether it was not generated with an AI. The content which you're producing, right, for me for your socials, your viewers do not care or whether you created your content plan using an AI or they not created using an AI or whether you generated your script with an AI or not. However, it's always important to refine, as I said, refine your output given by an AI. So as we said, AI is not perfect. AI is not always right. So whatever output AI gives you, you still have to put in the human input into it by going through it, editing it, correcting it, adding your own personal view on it. Now, when it comes to submitting projects in school, there are workarounds. There are ways you can work around getting caught submitting projects with AI. So you can use your AI maybe to create your report. But if you just simply put in the prompt, AI gives a result, you copy it and paste it, you'll easily be caught by your school. Now there are workarounds that which you can use to firstly to humanize the output generated by the AI. And after you humanize the output generated by the AI, you now add some editings into it. So normally, for example, with like writing a report, for example, as I said before, normally it will take you weeks or months to complete that report. But using this process, like okay, start with the prompt, I create the prompts, generate the output. Then the next step, I go in and humanize the the result. Humanizing the result is simply use another AI in order to make your result, your output generated by AI sound more human like. So now to bypass the AI detectors, to bypass AI detectors. So now after doing that, next step now would involve you adding some personal touches into it. So once you follow this process, you would pass 99% of AI detectors. We'll get into that later. How you can actually do this. But yes, you must always add a certain level of human input into your result because even AI is not perfect. So back here to this workflow while controlling the output, write a powerful trillion intro that highlights my years of experience at my biggest strengths, achievements, format using clean professional structure with clear headings for summary, experience, education. So yes, after using this prompt, after the result is generated by the AI, you still have to go through a process of refining. You have to go through it, the result, and check whether there are still options to optimize it. So when using the prompt, the result it gives you is not always the best result. Sometimes you have to go through a process of refining, 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 so you finally get what exactly you want. So, what are some key takeaways? The power is not the tool, the power is how you ask. So, how you tailor your prompt determines how your result is being generated, how your result is being given back to you. AI follows instructions, so you must give it those instructions for you to have the result you desire. You must give it direction in order for you to obtain your desired result. So, now what are some free AI tools? Some free, you must have heard of ChatGPT, which was the first which came up to the general market. There is Gemini by Google. There is DeepSeek, which is a free model. Grok by Elon Musk, and Claude. And all of these are general purpose AIs. And all of these AIs, even though they are general purpose, they have some specific tasks which they perform best in. So, for example, ChatGPT is best for creative writing and general daily tasks. Claude is very good for human-like writing and summarizing long PDFs. Gemini is best for deep research and connecting to Google Apps. Grok is good for real-time news and trending topic. DeepSeek is good for complex maths, logic, and coding. So all of these are all general purpose AIs which you can use for a variety of different tasks. But they have some certain things which they perform best in compared to the other ones. But generally they are general purpose. So you can, for example, ChatGPT, you can also generate images on ChatGPT. You can generate code on ChatGPT as well. Same thing with Gemini, Nano Banana. You can generate hyper realistic images with Gemini. DeepSeek does not generate images. However, you can generate images with Grok as well. Claude is also very good when it comes to coding. There's another one which is Perplexity AI, which works almost like a search engine. Perplexity AI. So let's talk about some free tools when it comes to content creation. So for images, we have Nano Banana, Image FX from Google Labs, Canva AI, Microsoft Designer. For videos, we have CapCut AI, Descript Clear AI, text to speech, or Speechma. Speechma is a free tool for generating, for converting text to speech. So, for example, if you're in a group, you must have seen the promotional video which I made for this webinar. The voice over there was done using Speechma. The script was written using Gemini. No, first was from the start. The plan was made using ChatGPT. The script was written with Gemini, and the voiceover was made with Speechma. So normally it would have taken me a lot of hours in order to come up with a speech. It would have taken me and I would have had to find a mic or maybe a professional studio in order to record the voiceover, and that would have taken me a lot of time. But using AI, that was done in less than an hour. In less than an hour, I could plan, write a script, and generate the voiceover in less than an hour using different AI tools. Now, the editing itself was done manually because I enjoy doing the editing manually. But however, there are also other tools you could use for the editing using AI. For another tool is InVideo.ai. Okay, there's a hand up.
I wish to ask if all these tools that you're showing are free resources or some are free and some are paid.
They are free or have premium version. They are
They
free
have
or
premium version.
they are completely free or have a free version or a
Mm-hmm.
free plan. So for
Yeah.
example, Speechma is completely free. For example,
Okay, thank
ChatGPT
you.
has a free version and a paid version as well. Gemini has a free version and a paid version, so you can use Gemini for free. Canva has a free and a paid version. Mm, Speechma is completely free. Let me show you Speechma for example. If you're into videos, generating of video content, so here it is. You can generate content in different voices, in you can generate content in different voices. If you generate speech, convert text to speech in different voices using speech, and it's completely free to use. Okay, let me check the charts for a moment. When automating a task with AI, is it advisable to rely on AI to generate prompts that will then be used by an AI to perform the task? This is a brilliant idea here. So you've seen how long these prompts can be. So if you're like me and you're very lazy, you don't want to type all this, you can as well use an AI to generate the prompt for you. So it can go like this. So you a professional, you are a prompt engineer, a prompt engineer. I need to conceive to come up with a prompt for me, to conceive a prompt for me that I could use to generate a business plan. The prompt should be well structured. Uh, okay, the task, the role, you're a professional prompt engineer. That is the role. The task, I need you to generate to write a prompt which I will use to generate a business plan for my business. Now, more context. My business is called Leke Tech. It's into I offer services in graphic designing, digital marketing, and web development for businesses. So this prompt will be used to generate a business plan for my business. So you can use, for example, that, and AI is going to generate a prompt for you, which you can use now that prompt to now generate now your business plan. Connection is lost. Connection is lost. Come on. Okay, we are back. So is that clear? If it's clear, you can set a reaction. Are bots, chatbots, and AI the same thing, or they differ? Bots are different from, or let me say, bots are like a small version to an AI. Bots are like a small version to an AI. Bots came before we had AIs. Bots do not have the ability to generate the information. An AI has. That's why it's called generative AI. Generative AI can generate text, images, videos, audio. However, bots do not. Bots work on specific constraints which you give it, specific information to work on. So bots are different uh, from from AIs. So bots are different from AIs. So we have tools like, if you go on Google Labs, Google Labs for example, on Google Labs you'd find some some AI models which are like practice, which are like, we hear the term lab, right? A laboratory. A laboratory is where you test something. So Google has made available some of these versions of their AI, which you can use here for absolutely free on Google Labs. You can use it. There are different tools here, such as, let the page load. So when you go on Google Labs here, on Google Labs, there are different free AI tools which Google has made available for use for anybody with a Google account. Different tools for generating audio. You have image effects for generating images, music effects to generate musics, well, audios, image effects. Let's go down on Google Labs. So this is like a playground for AIs. So aside from the one which I've listed in the slides, there are a ton of different AIs which you can see and try on the Google Labs, platform. But one of which I use almost every day is image effects from Google Labs. So this is a free AI generation tool. You have usage, unlimited usage here. You can generate as many images as you want, and following the same concept of creating your prompts. Following the same concept of creating your prompts. So you have to learn how to create prompts. Once you learn how to create prompts, you can use it for whatever task which you wish. Whatever task which you wish. So here you can control the output here. Is it a square image, a landscape, a portrait image, mobile portrait? So let's just say square image, the quality, even the speed. And here you write your prompt in this section here. So for example, let me just give it a simple task. Create an image of ambient blue lights on the background. Typing on her computer. Say she is wearing a black suit with a gentle smile on her face. So it's just a simple prompt, and you hit the create button. And they have it. That is your output. And to download, you just press this button here, it downloads. Okay, sorry, my connection got disrupted for a moment. Okay, is there a hand up? Yes, yes. Can you share with us what you have in mind? Ange, Ange with a hand up. Yes, Ange, your hand is up. Okay, we are back. So on image effects here, you can tell that to say this is flow, music effects DJ, music effects whisk, my library. Flow is for videos, music effects, of course, it's for sound. So you can go to whisk as well. Whisk is for both images and videos as well. It's also free, absolutely free by Google. So on Wix here, you can give it a subject and a scene and a style, and it's going to combine the images together. So you put maybe an image of yourself, maybe here an image of the beach, for example, and yeah, give it a style and generate the image. You can also generate videos as well on Whisk. So some few months back, I got a project. Some few months back, I got a project from an NGO. An NGO. They wanted to design a workbook, a children's workbook. The children's workbook needed a lot of illustrations, a lot of children illustrations. It's a children workbook. So now they work normally without AI. If I had taken this job back in 2020 when I just started designing, I would have had to customly draw all the illustrations on the book. However, in 2025, with the use of I use this tool called Whisk. And with Whisk here, I used um, DeepSeek in order to program my prompt. After programming my prompt on DeepSeek, I came here to Whisk, and Wix generated the illustrations for for my project. There were a lot of illustrations. So a task that would have taken me weeks in order to draw all the illustrations, I did it in a day by generating the prompts by processing the prompts with DeepSeek and generating the illustrations here on Wix. So AI can not just images, even illustrations as well, abstract images, all sort of images can generate. These are some AI tools. We'll dive deeper into this in our next class tomorrow. So another free and very important tool here is Notebook LM. So here we spoke of Nano Banana by Gemini. We spoke of Image FX, Canva AI, Speechma. So another important tool I wanted to show you is Notebook LM for productivity. So Notebook LM helps in deep research, analyzing hundreds of pages of documents simultaneously. Fact checking answers are strictly counted in your uploaded resources. Study podcast. You can turn boring notes into AI generated audio discussions. It's also used for brainstorming, chatting with your own data to find out new connections. So, for example, here, let's say a, a customer of yours bought you an entire document, for example, entire business plan of their document of their business, which you have to go through. Using Notebook LM, you can put in that document in Notebook LM and it's going to instantly summarize it for you, bringing out the key points about that. If you're a student, same thing. Your lecturer has given you 1,000 pages of notes to study. So you can simply take those 1,000 pages of notes, put it into Notebook LM, and it's going to summarize those notes, taking only the key points. So suddenly, 1,000 page of notes which felt like impossible to read becomes 20 pages or 10 pages, telling you just the essentials. So those are the things which you can use to increase your productivity. So normally you would have spent days and weeks trying to try to understand. However, using a free tool, a free productivity tool such as Notebook LM, you can speed your workflow 20 times. And here, this one works specifically on the document which you provided. So you can, for example, take your lecture notes, put it here, and ask it to generate a quiz, a practice quiz for you for your studies. You can convert your notes into AI generated discussions. So suddenly studying becomes like a conversation. You can convert your notes into an audio, a podcast which you can just listen on the road. You're walking on the road and you're listening to your notes which you've converted. So this is how AI has made things so much easier than it was. Another way you can use AI, for example, if you're a developer, you can use AI to code. There are free tools as well for using AI in coding, such as Llama Coder, Llama Coder, Llama Coder, which is also completely free, built on the Llama LLM, or even ZAI. These are also AIs which you can use for coding if you're a developer. So you can build websites, yeah, to build website, create presentations, write professionally fast in minutes. So these are the ways by which you can use AI to speed up your workflow. We'll dive deeper into these tools tomorrow. So tomorrow is a must attend day. So today was the introduction. Tomorrow we'll get the deeper feeling. We'll step into deeper waters. So are there any questions so far? If there are any questions so far, feel free to ask. Let's attend to all your questions.
Yeah. On Whisk, can I replace my image of a particular picture, like to another picture, and give it a different style?
Come again, please.
I said on Whisk, hmm, can I like I have two pictures.
Mm.
One is my picture. I want it to be like the other people. Can I do that on Whisk? I want the style of the other picture of the other image.
Yes, you can do that on Wix. You can do that on Wix. You can also do it on Nano Banana from Gemini. You've heard of Nano Banana, right?
Yes.
Yes, from Gemini. So, for example, using Nano Banana, you can you can get an image for yourself, an image, right? A normal picture which you took with your phone, and ask the
Mm-hmm.
AI to convert it into a professional video shoot kind of image of yourself using Nano Banana. Or for example, if you have a shoot of yourself already, maybe you went last week, did a video shoot, you paid maybe 10,000, they gave you three pictures. Using those three pictures, you can use AI to generate 10 or 20 more pictures of yourself with different clothing outfits using AI, using Nano Banana, for example. So you can provide your image, you provide maybe the dress that you want to wear. Either you describe it or you can provide an image to the AI. And now you tell AI, okay, I need a professional video shoot based. This is me. I want you to change my outfit to this. I want you to put a background like this or like that. If you cannot think of the prompt yourself, you can also use AI to generate the prompt for you. So one other trick you can use is you can go online, get a picture which you like, right? Now give the picture to the AI and ask AI to generate a prompt that you can use to generate this exact same image. And then now take that prompt, modify it by adding your picture to it and asking the AI to generate, rather than saying generate a picture maybe of a woman, it will be now generate a picture of me using my reference picture attached. We'll test some of these things tomorrow, which you can see. So right now for those, okay, this chat your operating systems. The chat does not show completely here since I went off. But was there a question? I'm seeing operating systems. Okay, I just sent a link on the chat here. So if you're present in this meeting right now, if you can place, or maybe it'll be better at the end of the. Okay, we'll get it at the end or reach the end. So for now, you can just wait. So we spoke of notebook LM, a feature for productivity. It can also be used in summarizing, condensing complex reports into simple bullet points. So suddenly, a very long report, maybe from a meeting which you do not want to read, can be converted into a few bullet points that you can just browse through in 5 seconds. Your long notes from school in a few pages, converted to audio, just a matter of seconds. So tools versus skills. Tools change, There will always be a new AI which was being released. The first AI which went mainstream that everybody knew was ChatGPT. But after ChatGPT, a lot of different AIs have come up. We've seen DeepSeek. We've seen Gemini come out, which is almost like ChatGPT. We've seen DeepSeek come out, which is absolutely free. DeepSeek is 100% free. There's no paid version on DeepSeek. We've seen other ones, Claude AI, which is special, very good for writing. And so there will always be a new tool, an AI which can perform this or that. But the point is to understand how to use AI. So whatever new tool comes up, you will still be able to use the tool. Tools change every day, new tools come every day. But however, how you use them stays the same. So if you master prompting, you can use any AI tool. AI is not about replacing thinking, it's about upgrading it. That's the key takeaway. So let's head into our live question and answer session. Yes, Wix does not leave watermarks, unlike Gemini that leaves watermarks. So, but however, if you have some knowledge in Photoshop, right, you can generate your image with Gemini and remove the watermark using Photoshop. Previously, we did a free training on graphic design. The recordings are still in the group for those who are interested, but it's actually a very simple task to do. Are there any questions regarding what we've seen so far? Yes.
Um, okay, sir. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much, sir, for the explanations. I don't know. Are you getting me?
Yes, I'm getting.
Okay. Thank you so much for the explanations on the different AI tools and all the rest. My main focus is on the aspect of content creation. We're talking about the content creation tools in Google Labs, tools like Whisk, uh, Flow, and the rest. So now I just wish to ask because I've been playing with AI these days and to try to create videos, write scripts and compile them with CapCut and other rest. But now the major setback is credits. Like it's really difficult to do this aspect of getting credit is like a limit to someone's creativity. So I just wish to ask is there a way that you can get credits or maybe your content maybe you don't have a mastercard, is there another way you can get a credit, maybe like 1,000 credits to generate your high quality videos and others? Because anytime you exceed a test upgrade, they always ask for your mastercard, so I don't know if there are any alternatives.
In order to get credits, you'd have to buy them. So, are you asking how you can buy the credits? Is that the question?
Yes, how can I buy the credits if you have a mastercard? Because mastercard is like for people who
Mm-hmm.
are working in offices now, we're just students.
Okay. So now it's actually very easy to get a Visa card or a Mastercard, a prepaid or a virtual Mastercard. So this is not a promotion, but Momo, for example, mobile, no Momo, right? You use MTN SIM, so you must know about Momo.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So Momo have created added a new functionality to their app whereby you can purchase a virtual business card, a virtual Mastercard. And this Mastercard, you can use it to buy things online from anywhere. Do you understand?
I
So to get a virtual Mastercard from the mobile app, you have to pay 3,500, I think. 3,500. So now you can simply upload your card from your Momo and buy whatever subscription you want to buy online. But apart from that, there are also other service providers for virtual credit cards. Another one which I use personally is called Nero. It's spelled Nero. So there you can actually get a visual card for free. For free. All you have to do now is now upload your card. You can upload your card through mobile money or orange money. Depending on the one you use. And to upload money is free. Uploading your money is free. Sorry, recharging your card is free. So where they make their own profit is through your transactions. You make a transaction, their transaction fees. So if you're using a Momo app, you have to pay 3,500 to get a card. However, if you're using another service such as Nero, you get a card for free. The third option is to go to your bank such as UBA or African First Bank and buy a physical prepaid card, which costs about 10,000 or 12,000. Those are the three options which you have.
Please, could you send a link for the app that you said gives the credit card for free with the group so that one can look at it?
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll send the link to the group. Okay, are there any other questions? Any other questions?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Please, I wish to know does the functionality of this Whisk and these other AI agents that you mentioned, do they function differently from Grok?
Okay, they are general purpose LLMs, right? General purpose LLMs such as ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Claude, and DeepSeek. They're all general purpose LLMs. But Wix is different. Wix is specific for image and videos. So they don't actually function in the same way. The same way. On Grok, for example, you can generate text output, you can write emails, write proposals on everything. I think you can also generate images on Grok as well. But however, Wix is only for images and videos. Just that. You don't do anything else on Wix. So there are two types of
Okay,
LLMs. There are general purpose LLMs like ChatGPT, and there are specific ones to complete specific tasks like video generation, like audio generation, image generation. These ones are specific LLMs. LLM means large language model.
okay. So please, taking comparing the images, for example, generated by Grok and Whisk and the other LLMs that are purposely for image generation, if you are to rate the quality, does it mean that something like Grok is not too advisable to use on a large scale of AI generation of images and videos?
Usually, AIs which are specific perform better in that specific task than general purpose AIs. Usually, that's the case.
Okay, all right, noted.
However, at the end of the day, you can also test, right? You can put in the same prompts on Grok, put in the same prompts on Wix, and try to see which one generated the best image for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, so if you're present here, get on the chat. You'll see a link. On this link, please click on this link and fill in the information there. It's for attendance purposes. So no, and that you leave a small feedback the day in preparation for tomorrow. So you put in your name and just leave us a small feedback there as well on your experience. Okay, so you fill the form, put in your name, and just give us a small feedback from your experience from today's session in preparation for tomorrow's session. And at the end of tomorrow's session as well, there will be certificates of participation which will be offered for those who were present, and it's from this list which we will know who was present and who was not. So if you are here, please do well to fill in the form. It's not opening. Okay, let me try some. Let me test. Mm, just give me a minute. The form is opening here. Are you sure it's not a connection issue? Okay, that means it should be a connection issue for you because it opens here and Annie says it opens as well. Okay, if the link is not opening for you, please can you signal now? Let me see who send your reaction if the link is not opening for you. Okay, try doing this. Try copying the link and going to your browser and pasting it there. Try doing that. So on day 2, which is tomorrow, we'll be exploring specific workflows, right? Practical workflows on different scenarios, practical workflows for students, practical workflows for content creators, practical workflows for entrepreneurs or professionals or business owners. We'll explore practical workflows for the uses of these different AIs. So thank you all for attending today's session. Thank you all for your feedback, for your presence. For those of us who stayed from the start to the end, your participation was very much appreciated. For those of us who asked questions, who shared their input, your participation is very much appreciated. And I hope to see you here tomorrow as well. If you still have more questions, you can ask now while you fill the form. But that was it for today's session. Thank you all for attending. Mm, why is this? Why is the link not opening for some and opening for other people?